Your chemistry practical could have been a disaster, but do not let that happen to your paper 2. These are the scores given by my student who have done this paper. Do I agree with it? Find out in today's episode of Alright, welcome back to another video. This is your love from Vantage Tutor, a class above the rest. And for today's prelim paper review, it is for the chemistry students, and it is from 2024 XinMin Secondary School Pure Chemistry Paper 2. Now firstly, these are the questions that I feel are interesting and probably worth your time to try. And for students who would like to try this paper, you are invited to join my Telegram channel where I've uploaded a short summary along with a download link on my blog. Have a go at it, let me know how you did. And for students who don't know, yes, I have a headquarters now. I have opened a tuition center at 1102 Serangoon Road, Level 2. It's 2 stops away from Boon Keng MRT, 2 stops away from SAJC. Trial classes have already started. What are you waiting for? Sign up today. Now this paper was sent to me really early on, even before the answers were out. And actually, this is a paper that is more than decent. Why? Find out via my 3 matrices. Number 1, relevance. Number 2, insightfulness. Number 3, difficulty. Before I give an overall score and recommend to you the type of students who should try this paper. And of course, if I had a student who had to sit for this paper under exam condition, what would be a fair expectation of him from me in order for him to score an A in his actual O-levels? Firstly, relevance. Upon first impression, almost every question here feels somewhat familiar to me, feels somewhat fair to me. There are some small twists and turns in there, but those small twists and turns are things that you kind of expect and in a way want to see in your O-level paper because they're not too weird and you can kind of relate to them. And usually in every prelim paper, especially in chemistry, I'm looking for application, I'm looking for contextual. This paper offers quite a lot of that, and I think the best part about the paper is the data analysis question in section B, where they did not just take a content from the A-level syllabus and change it into so-called an application question. In fact, this question is not completely unique. I have seen it before in an SJI, I believe 2018 paper. And beyond that, all the questions here seem to take elements from different topics, putting them together. At the same time, there are still questions where they are isolated on a certain topic. For example, your organic chemistry. And hence, I see a very good balance in terms of how they phrase questions, whether it's just purely technical, or whether it's an application question, or whether it's a contextual question, or whether it's just a question on chemistry by combining different topics together. And hence, the relevance of this paper will be given a more than solid 8.5 out of 10. Next, insightfulness. Some questions here really do require little things from different chapters. And the contextual question, the anchor question, is great. There are substantial learning points to be taken away from this paper, and it's not necessarily because they are the most insightful. For example, the metals question is rather insightful in a way that I expect them to be. They use metals outside of your reactivity series that you have memorized and ask you to answer questions based on it. But these are things that you are expected to be able to overcome. And even though the questions are insightful, they stay within the syllabus. Unlike some other schools where they tend to take ideas from the A-levels and pull it down and claiming that it's a contextual or application question. That is simply not the case in this paper. And hence, in short, the insightfulness of this paper would also be given a very solid 8.5 out of 10. Next, difficulty. As much as these questions do require different things, as much as these questions may seem a bit unusual, the paper is rather balanced. There's a good mix of questions that just require a student to just give me the techniques that we have taught you in class. There are also questions where students are expected to hold their horses, think a bit first, put different ideas together before formulating a coherent answer in order to tackle the question. There's also questions where it's application that chances are you have not heard about, not even your A-level seniors have heard about, and that's your section B database question. But all in all, the paper is rather balanced. I do not see any students struggling to complete this paper on time. I do not see questions being very specific in forcing you to answer in a certain way in order to get full credit. Most of the questions here are what you expect. They just change the context, they just give you a different set of information. You are just supposed to answer according to the question. However, at the same time, I know some students may be taken aback by such format. Some questions may really seem too unusual for some of you, but all in all, only slightly difficult of a paper, and hence the difficulty will be given a rather fair to above average score, 6.5 out of 10. Overall, it's a good paper. It is fairly balanced, highly relevant, more insights that I can take away while I complete this paper. And this is for students who are taking this under exam condition as well. You are going to learn as you do the paper. You do not need your teachers to go through the paper in order to extract the learning point. And that's what makes this a very good paper. And that could be the case in your O-levels as well, where sometimes questions are rather unusual and you are forced to learn and to pick up new skills on the spot. And this paper definitely trains you for that. And hence, I like this paper. The overall score will be given easily 7.5 out of that. And if I had a student who had to sit for this paper under exam condition, a fair expectation of him would be 70% in order for him to score an A in his actual O-levels. And finally, who would I recommend this paper to? I recommend this paper to every student out there, especially if you're just an average student. If you're just an average student who relies on memory, who relies on doing repeatedly practice papers in order to score for chemistry, this paper is going to present a slight challenge to you. And you are going to be forced to use application, you are going to be forced to understand context, you are going to be forced to rephrase whatever you choose to memorize in order to tackle the question more specifically, in order to get the full credit. For weaker students as well, I think this is a good starting point for you to realize what an O-level paper could actually be. True, maybe there's not as much environmental chemistry as I would have liked, but this paper does offer its own unique set of challenges in all the different topics. In a sense, it is a technical paper with just enough insights, but not enough to make me fall in love with the paper. And hence, if you are a student looking for a paper to practice in order to refine your skills in terms of application and context, regardless whether you're a weak, average or an above average student, I will recommend this paper as a time practice, and this paper would definitely be for you. Alright, so we have come to the end of this prelim paper review of 2024 XinMin Secondary School Pure Chemistry Paper 2. Now, if you like what I'm doing, follow me on TikTok, like my video, comment and share it with your friends. I'm sure this will help them, because ultimately, I'm on my way to 10,000 followers. And for students who like to download this paper, you are invited to join my Telegram channel where I've uploaded a short summary along with a download link on my blog. Have a go at it, let me know how you did. And for students who like to try this paper with me and have me extract all the learning points for you, sign up for my trial classes at Boomcake. All the details are available on my blog. Nothing else. This is your love from Vantage Tutor, a class above the rest. Take care.